Do 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 do. Hey, thank you very much, Nubby Ear Wiggles. What would a stream be without Nubby starting me off with 100 bits? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And greetings, Lancel. Yep, and thank you for the resub, Nubby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. What am I doing today? I think I was going to go and actually make some artifacts, maybe? Maybe? I was also going to do some Q&A and talk about some other cool stuff, like a couple of people who will be joining the team. Whoa. Gonna make a goblin belt. A goblin belt. Let's see, I've got the artifact ideas up here. Is there a goblin belt option in there? Goblin belt. By Nubby Earwiggles. Makes use short, green, and jump high like a goblin. Why would a goblin jump high? Are goblins known for being jumpers? Greetings, Snugsy. So really what you want is a Nubby Earwiggles belt. Check. Let's see. Oh, let me get the raffle going. Hold on. Thanks for reminding me. Let me see what's on sale today. I'm going to try to get back into my routine. Oh. Stone 3-story prison row house. That's pretty cool. Royal Elven Mage Staff. Ridiculously large ornate chainsaw. Let's see. Ghost Raven, Ghost Dog. Let's start off again. We're doing Halloween stuff here. We're coming up on Halloween. We'll do a Day of the Dead 6-pack. Hold on, I haven't got it up there yet. Reset. Yes. Of the Dead Mask 6-pack. Okay, bam, go. Now you can do the thing. Let's see. Will Blood Bay receive something that for those who participated in the PvP totem buff system? Yes, I absolutely do agree, and I agree that it feels abandoned. As you guys have probably noticed over the past since I created Blood Bay, I've somehow managed to adopt even more and more and more things, and just don't have the time to manage it. I think I mentioned this on a previous stream, and again, I got to do a better job of keeping notes on what I am going to share with people, so I can share stuff back to the people without them having to come watch. But we have a GM system coming up, which will allow a lot of different stuff. I've talked about some of the things, like the being able to fly around and be invisible, and summoning people and teleporting to people and summoning creatures. Probably setting message of the day type stuff will be another thing that we're going to have some people who can do that. The same people probably who will be kind of the in-game moderators. That system already exists. The VIP system, like basically have a flag, we can flag you as someone who can do that stuff, and you can mute people. Right now they can't set message of the days, but I would like to get it so they can set a message of the day. But anyways, I would like to have that system also expand over so there's kind of like a dedicated person to managing, being full-time governor of Blood Bay and managing that. All right, let's see. Got that. You guys are raffling. I got that underway. Let's see. I guess I can give a quick update on yesterday and the nightmares that I went through. So I got up, not this midnight, but yesterday at midnight, to fix the bug with the double fizzle rate. Kind of a crappy thing. So I can tell you the details on that. Again, this is a dev stream, so I'm trying to share a lot of dev information that you may or may not care about. I'll get back to questions in a minute. Try not to get distracted. But anyway, so the double fizzle rate is actually something that One and Only put in that I saw and was like cheered, woo-hoo-hoo, until I saw that part of it, which is he added in something. So if you use a pattern, it adopts the pattern's innate features. Now this was added, and this is what was in his comment, was the Virtue Cloak will take the innate features that are built into it, like the innate stats. So if you put a pattern of a Virtue Cloak or a Avatar Cloak Shroud on something, it gets the stats. So you put that in, but you put it in as a global system. So anytime you have a pattern and you apply the patterned item to the thing, you get the extra innates that are on it, which is a great thing. We've been talking about that for a while. We like that. But there's some things that shouldn't be global. We've got some things we just need to go back and look. Hey, thank you very much, iWacko, for the raid. Thank you. We need to go back and examine that more closely before we turn that on for everything. So I backed it out. But yes, one of the things, obviously, the very first thing is we need to not have it double up the fizzle chance is actually baked into every object as an innate stat that it adds, which is just a fizzle chance. That probably should have been done differently so it wasn't an innate and was kind of in a different category all its own, where we can just mark anything with an armor has a fizzle amount it has, but we just did it as a innate because we didn't think it'd ever be a problem. But anyway, so we need to get that cleaned up. We need to have a little more logic go on with that stuff, and then that can get back in there and we can start having it so when you apply patterns, it also applies the extra stats for the patterns on things. Now, the other place that's going to get a little scary is when we start letting you pattern artifacts and stuff like that, so you can apply artifacts that do have a lot of innate stats to other things, basically doubling up some of those things. But anyway, so that is what caused that bug. I kicked off a build. I got up at midnight to fix it, waiting for one build to finish, fixed it. Actually, I was hoping that Wizard Smoke would track it down and fix it, but it wasn't his thing. It was One and Only's. But I got up at midnight and fixed it, kicked off a build, waited about 10 minutes for it, looked all good, went to bed. Got up the next morning at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Slept in, yes. And saw that it had failed 12 minutes after I kicked off the build. Had to fix it again, kick off another build, but yesterday was a field trip. We went to Sweetberry Farms, something Berry Farms. And so then that's why that took so long. Then I got home and kicked it off again to start it uploading, and then the upload failed because our torrent seed box was full. I had to kick it off again. So anyways, if you were expecting a patch early yesterday morning, me too is the short version. And again, that's one of those things I'm trying to deal when I see those issues. I try to make sure they don't happen again, or at least very well document them. And those issues being the torrent seed box filling up. I have a clean way to handle that now. Anyways, how was your day? What am I going to be showing you today? I don't know. We just had our team lunch. I guess one thing I can tell you about He's probably not in stream, but I mentioned somebody was going to be joining the team as a dev. And I was going to announce that part. A small tiger shark, wow. Ooh, that's weird. Saw a little light poppy thing. Ah, that's what it was. Light turn on. Man, we gotta do some more logic on that, I think. If you look, the castle, the wall over there, and the light logic on popping lights on and off. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, they're never supposed to pop like that. Bad light. Bad. So anyways, back to the dev. So we have been looking for some people to help out community-wise. Again, this is part of my big push, is to involve players more in just more ways, different ways. One of those is we have a lot of players who are pretty tech-savvy guys who have helped us a ton already and have earned our trust over 5+ years. And one of those guys is going to be joining us as pretty much what I'm referring to as a dev light. That is, I think a few people already guessed. You guys want to guess? Who is it? Anybody? Anybody? All right, well, if you said Ravelox, yeah, there you go, see. If you said Ravelox, you are correct. So Ravelox, who does do some of the various things already tech-wise and already helping us out in a ton of different ways. Who? So he's someone who's helped out in the community in a ton of different ways, but isn't as visible in the game. He's visible more in streams and SodaBot and all these other things that he's helped us out with. But he's actually going to be joining us to help with some dev stuff. And he is... he helps in a ton of different ways. He's also he's working with, I think this is public information. He and Winfield are working together to get the next SodaCon together, which is absolutely sounding like it's going to be a fabulous thing. I see you. But they're setting up stuff. They're working on dates and permissions and stuff like that. But they're going to be involving, they're going to do more of a kind of a... The event is going to be basically SodaCon plus Hobloth plus Dragons, Ultima Dragons, all wrapped into one. So Devil Cult, you wouldn't want to be a dev light type person anyways, because some of it is, like, you can't be a... We worry too much about when players are both a serious player and also like trying to be dev stuff, just because your priorities can get a little messed up sometimes. We wouldn't want that power to go to your head. Too much snot in my nose. So, to be honest, part of the deciding factor in that was also that Ravelox lives with one of our other devs. That he is hanging out with Scotty and has been for a few months now, so that makes it a lot easier decision. But anyways, very excited about that. He's going to be taking over some stuff. He will probably be taking over the... He's going to try to get our Twitter account back. He's going to try and take over the streaming stuff. So he can be the guy when you're a streamer. He can be the guy who can be that guy that you talk to get your crowns instead of having to pester me and List. And come up with a system for how to manage that. Who is this Ravelox guy, says Merrick Dragon, who obviously knows who Ravelox is. Let's see. But he's got a list of things, and then the other stuff he's going to be doing, he's going to be working on some stuff. Scotty's going to be teaching him some art. He's already knows some art, but we're going to be getting him set up on some stuff so he can do some simple things. And he's also going to be probably putting together some dungeon pieces for us. That's my hope. That's one of those things that is tedious and time-consuming, but not that difficult, so... We'll see. I'm setting him up a computer right now and getting him all synced up on the project. Probably getting him a Unity license, getting everything else set up for him. Finish what we have, please. Yes, that is the other thing, is he can help out with some of the bugs that are going on with dungeon pieces and some of the other stuff. I am working on the dungeon pieces you guys probably know about that are bugged, that I think we just missed one more thing with them last time. The spawners, yes. Yes, spawners. Known, and I will have those fixed for R71 one way or the other. If I have to go build them by hand, I will build them by hand. But let me see if I can get this thing going on. I broke your tartar sauce with the wacko today. That's actually what I was going to show off, was some tartar sauce stuff. For those who have heard me talk about it, the PvP side of things, there's going to be a PvP control point and a non-PvP control point. You guys have already seen the megs with a PvP control point. There's the other PvP side that's very much like that. And hold on, I'm trying to see why somebody... Oh, just give me 5 bits to be nice. Thank you very much. And thank you, Orvendel, and thank you, Legion of Myth. But for those who watched me work on it last time, I ran into some problems with the creatures in the PvP waves spawning, but just basically going idle immediately. I tracked down the problems with that. That's now done, so I'm going to have to... Oh, man. I think I need to add some more light to these things. Because I always feel like I have to do a eye thing. Hold on, let me show you what I'm looking at here. There we go. So this is the PvP side. And the only reason I'm showing you this is because previously when I showed this to you guys, basically creatures would spawn and never make their way to the middle. Now I just can't see them. Come on, critters. Oh, there. Now they're starting to get here. And this is actually something I've seen, is this space is large enough. I need to move their spawn points in quite a bit. At least for the first wave, it's a little annoying. For the other waves, it's fine. Set God mode true. Oops, that's wrong. God mode true. Resurrect me. There we go. Hey, thank you very much, Solus, for the follow, and Repulsive for the follow, and Liberty Lover for the resubs. Thank you, guys. But this is me testing out some stuff here. This was me testing, verifying the... I can get chest. Again, this is a system I hadn't played with that much, but this is setting up the reward, so... Now when the first wave dies... Again, these guys are pretty tough. And everything's sped up right now, so just ignore that. Let me do it the easy way and do a kill all. You know, I get through the wave and now the next chest unlocks. Cloth gloves, yeah, that's what you have to look forward to, guys. But anyways, so this will be going live, this next release. I'm going to try to get in a QA build, hopefully for the weekend. That will have the current battle, because I would love to have some feedback on it, because right now there's a couple of different things that I really need feedback from you guys on, one of which is difficulty. But it's basically set up into waves. I'm going to add some more, there's going to be some more decos in here, just like I need to get in the other one. Yes, Vino Corlin, standard loot you're used to, rusty spoons and cloth gloves. Let's see. Griffler, that's an interesting thing. I didn't know that on the water statues. So my belief is, again, this is something we just talked about lunch today. We know there's a lot of pushback on some of the heritage stuff and no trade stuff. This is not something, it's new to us, unfortunately. But it's something that we should have done long ago, which is make more things, make premium items no trade. Crowns can be tradable, and that's fine. It's just when you turn them actually into something. We need to have things removed from, basically removed from the game and the player marketplace at that point. Now, there's a lot of stuff left in the player marketplace. There's still going to be tons of stuff. But player marketplace also of, and this is also, you can see some of the cooler stuff, although they're still doing some of the same things. But you can see they're blinking, they're ring of firing me. These guys will continue to level up and be tougher and tougher here. I'll hold off. I won't show the final waves. Just so you can't see the new boss guys. Spoilers. And now List is messaging me now. Those guys are cool. Now make the spare guys cool. I'll get to them. Oh, we've got an exchange. We've got a barter system going on. List says he's going to make deco my dungeon for me if I will go fix his despair stuff. I think that is his way of saying I suck at decorating. He is right. All right, Liz, that'll be a deal. You can come decorate on stuff. And that's one that can slip past lockdown. That's you decoing stuff isn't going to cause any critical bugs, I don't think. And if it seems like there's a lot of crap going on out here, remember this is supposed to be a big long fight with lots of people. And I'm playing at 3x speed is why everything's going fast, because I didn't want to have to wait for the timer gap. Like some of the waves in other scenes have, like, basically no matter how many times things you kill, you have to kill it for 2 minutes or whatever, and then the next wave. This one I went back to the old system, which is once you kill a wave, if you can kill it in 5 seconds, you can kill it in 5 seconds. There'll be a 15 or 30 second gap before the next round spawns, but basically if you can kill one wave, bring them on. And the idea, the reason I was showing you the chest, that again, these were just me making sure I knew how this stuff worked, was because the actual way it's going to work is a wave will spawn, and with each wave spawning, there will be a round of chests that become unlocked elsewhere in the scene. And again, this is in this scene. So again, there's got to be lots of chests that'll be in each one of these nooks and crannies that players, I'm sure, will start to know where they are. So basically, beat a wave, unlock a chest, beat a wave, unlock a chest, beat a wave, unlock a chest. Again, though, this is also set up to be a PvP space, and has, if you look, there's more longer runs rather than the other one that's very much a straight maze. There's some cover rooms like that. All right, let's see. I'll do one more, and then I'll stop there before I let any of the final waves come out. And yes, all sped up crazy. You guys afraid? Looks like they're afraid to fight me. Yeah, look at the corpses, man. You'd be afraid to fight me too. That is another one that I plan on having in there. This was after talking to someone at SodaCon, who basically informed me, you know, it's not that they're lazy or they want something, you know, crazy big, but part of the reason they want to have AE loot is just so they don't have to target a guy. So that is something that I'm actually going to be working on, is if you do E and you do not have a guy targeted, it will loot the nearest legal target for looting. And this is just because, again, some people have, you know, health problems. I personally have arthritis, and mousy stuff is can be hard for me, so totally get it. But that's one that after talking to a few people and understanding that it's not just that they want to go to upper tiers and, you know, loot 1,000 corpses at a time. The real problem is it's the trying to target stuff, you know, especially if you have health problems of some sort. Why are these guys not coming to kill me? They're afraid of me. Thank you, Griffler. Oh, look, there's a thing. What's our plus 20 today? Terminator. Apparently, if you do Terminator, you get an extra 10%. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Griffler. Yeah, I get it, dude. You're scared. I'd be scared, too. Oh, you know what? I bet I didn't alter the final 2 waves, this wave's creatures to have longer leash distances. Okay. Well, I can fix that. Yeah, because it looks like they're getting just in view and then they're running away because their leash distances, they're beyond their leash distance when they run to get me. I'll fix that. But anyways, there's several more waves after that that looks like I still need to go do a little bit of work on. But getting close to done with this. That plus deco, of course. And yeah, and that's what it is. You can see turns around and runs. Alright, well that's enough of that. Enough showing you that stuff. Let me get back over into the client. Okay, I'm going to answer questions for just a few minutes. And then I will get back to the other stuff. And I was already yelled at least once, because I have not done a promotion special something or another. God, I gotta get more original with my promotions. Let's see. There's a raffle going, Apple Rust. There should be a raffle going. Raffle is for 6 Masks of the Dead things. Free lots to dragons named Merrick. That doesn't seem like a very good promotion to me. And let's see. Uh-oh, Hemswall wants me to join. Hey, thank you very much, Snugsy1. Thinking up a master plan. We got any new things that just went in the store that I could do is like buy a crown pack, get one free? I honestly do not know. The teleporter to Tartarus. Someone noted that I had it on my stream and I saw a bug in it and I didn't fix the bug and I shipped it out that way. So the actual problem was the Tartarus was floating and it had bad collision. I made a bug for somebody else on the team. I don't do everything. To go and make collision and fix it. And they got the floating part done, but not the other part done, and I didn't catch that. But I did just go and fix the collision part of it. So that should be in a patch. I'm probably going to kick off a patch now, and it'll be ready for the morning. I'll see what other stuff's in there, but I think all the other ones are working fine. But let's see if we got any new stuff in there. I know we've got some new stuff that just came on. Oh, what about those candles? Oh, holiday lights. Ooh, do we got any, like, big holiday light packs? 10-pack. Oh, these are all like... Oh, that's sweet. Let's see, glowing mugs. Candles. I know those are new. one sounds pretty good. Let's see. Hold on. I'm writing up a special. Oh god, I just talked myself out doing this. I was gonna say I'll give you guys one of each of the holiday lights with a big crown bundle thing, but then I saw that there's 3 of each one of those, and I like just imagining me dragging like 3 and 3 and 3 and wanting to kill myself. Let's see. What holiday stuff? Well, I guess we're still in Halloween time. How about that? I got it now. Got it. Hold on. Oh. Still looking. I'm trying to figure out cool stuff. Well, I know what you guys are going to do anyways. I'll just go with this for now, and then if you guys come up with any good ideas, you can tell me about it. Trying to think up something Halloween-y, holiday-y. So something else I'm going to be doing, again, is Catnip Games is taken over, and I'm trying to change up a few ways that we do a few things. One of the things I'm going to be getting rid of is removing the Lord of the Isle bundles, at least from the front page. Now, my hope is that we can sell the last 3, and I can like cut it off at one dinner. Because that's kind of the limit to why we set it up in bunches, is because we want to get people together for a dinner. If you purchase a Lord of the Isle pack, so you can come meet me, Star, Richard, and possibly other team members for dinner somewhere. And exactly where we will have to figure out. It will either be in New York at Richard's place, or it'll be here in town. It could also be that we end up trying to sync it up with the Lord of the Isle or the Sodacon stuff, and maybe do it when Sodacon's here, or sync it up with some other Ultima Dragon type thing. But I'm going to be sexying up those Lord of the Isle packs, and also making sure whatever way I sexy up the new ones, I sexy it up the old ones as well, so those guys who already bought them will get some free. But I just had some people at Sodacon making the case for the value propositions not there for it. It needs to be cooler. What's cooler than having dinner with Lord British and Darkstar and me? Just to be fair, I'll probably be cooking the dinner. But anyways, I'll give you, when I figure something out there. Oh, if you do any lot upgrade earns 33% bonus credits towards a house upgrade. That's if you like upgrade your lot from, you spend like, you're going like changing your lot to be tax to no tax or whatever, and you spend like, 10,000 crowns or something like that. If you spend 10,000 crowns, then you can pick a house up to 3333 or whatever, or pick a house and pay the difference, and I'll give you credit towards a house. And that's kind of the idea, being that like you go from like a townhouse to a city house, And guess what? Now you need a cooler house to go on it because you don't want to be that lame guy with a little house on a big lot. That's kind of cool because you got a lot of room to deco. But anyway, so you'll get a third of whatever is credit towards another house. And like if there's something you want, like like you spend 1,000 upgrading from row to village or something like that, and it's not enough to get you a full house, you can apply that as credit towards another house and just send me the difference. I don't even know what houses cost. I just make these things up. That's one that I've had for a while that I continually get as people requesting. It's like if you did a 3,600 crown upgrade for a lot, I could send you this lovely 1,200 crown house here. Or if you wanted the 2,000, then you just send me an extra 800 crowns and I'll send you that one. No, pretty houses cost so much. Yeah. And that is, there's houses on the marketplace and houses in game and some that are craftable that are the free. Again, the thing we always try to sell, since that's a name I don't recognize, Starla Girls. The thing we always try to monetize is just the visuals. I mean, this is how every game that is not a subscription game has to work. Is if you want to pay, you pay for pretty stuff. We don't sell power. Having a big house does not make you more powerful. It is the equivalent of driving a car. And if we're saying that having a big house is compensating for other shortcomings, here's my house, people. Look at my house. But there's some cool houses out there that are actually, you can go and watch. We did a stream where one of the guys who came in the top 3 for decoing the house, he actually crafted his house himself. And I don't even mean like crafting one of our houses where you get a bunch of lumber and craft stuff. He actually built it out of like wall pieces and planks and ladders and everything else. Like he actually built a house. That's and he may be in chat here. Obscuro, one of the Obscuros. Yeah, it sounds like Alphane. I don't think Alphane took part in my house deco contest that I did. Oh, sorry, people. Ugh. Oh, and thank you, Griffler and Eric Rules and Snugsy1. I am okay. For those who didn't know, this is the release where I was going to get caught up on everything, except then I lost probably 4 days to SodaCon stuff, and then 4 days to going to ACL Fest. And these things are technically on weekends, but those are still, I work weekends, so losing a weekend day is still tough. And then a day yesterday to a field trip, and then in addition to all that stuff, I've kind of been half sick for the last week, so I'm getting better now. Whatever I picked up at ACL Fest or SodaCon or whatever is finally clearing up, but I still have a bunch of congestion. And thank you for your concern. Crushing blow spell effects. Questions. Okay, I'll get to the questions. Also, for those people, since I've had 3 or 4 new followers today, if you do an exclamation mark question, you can add a question. You do exclamation mark question space and then whatever you want your question to be. I'll start with the most recent ones and work my way back because I don't know where yesterday ended and today started. It just all goes into one big log. Will salvaging recipes patterns for experience go live this release? Yes, I will get that on my list of WTF. For those who haven't heard the story on that, that is, you guys find a lot of recipes out in the wild. And they're the type thing, once somebody learns a recipe, they've learned a recipe. So there's not a huge market for the actual recipes. Now, there's still people who need the recipes, but it's only the new guys coming into the game who need some of these recipes. So there's not a huge market for them. So one of the things that he, or that, sorry, had to use flash. Turning over my phone. So one of the things we're doing is we're taking those recipes, and just like many other things in the game, you can salvage things. So I'm making the recipes so you can salvage them for wood pulp, and you'll get some crafting and adventure experience. So I did that actually, for those who missed it. That was actually in for like one version, I think, on QA, and then I immediately pulled it because I realized we don't have a good way right now to mark which recipes are dropped and which recipes are purchased. And so I made a bunch of the recipes that you could purchase for 10 gold at a merchant, so you could tear them down and you get experience out of them. Insta-fail. But anyways, yes, I will get that back live. I will not guarantee it's for all of them, because again, the problem is I just went like batch marked all recipes. Bad idea. I'll be marking the ones that I know drop, so hopefully some of the ones that you guys are looking at right now, is frustrating that you get them as a drop in a dungeon. You can then start looking at them as, here's a scroll I can salvage for experience, and it doesn't feel as bad. Grumpy Crab Never. Let's see. When did you email me about your... He says, that why would I buy Kodo packs for reward when I never got a reward for buying multiple Kodo packs over 3 months ago? I do not know what things you have. When was the last time you asked for them? I do get to them. But, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I think I get to most of them. I'm usually about a week behind on sending those out. But Grumpy, you are grumpy, I know. But I do get those out. Trust me, it's one of those things. I know the people who are buying the packs, these are also people who are some of our longest time fans and biggest fans. They're the ones I do not want to burn. Except apparently you, Grumpy. Here's one. But Grumpy, just message me in game. And he ignores them all. Okay, so what you're doing there, Grumpy, when you talk like that, just for a lesson, when you talk like that, you are talking to the audience out there in an attempt to make me look bad. If you're on my stream and want something, you should be talking to me, not trying to negatively influence people in the group out there. I have not seen a message from you, Grumpy. I think there's probably 100 people on stream who can tell you that I do get those things out. So what you're doing is you're not talking to me when you're using that language. So Grumpy, I just told you on stream I would take care of you. I just didn't hear about it. I didn't see anything. So, and again, your language was talking to the audience as if you're trying to piss off the people in the stream or make them not trust me, which is not something I don't like. Let's see. When will you... Oh, this one is in all caps, so I must answer this one. That was my straight face. When will you make dig-in not useless? I agree, dig-in is fairly useless right now. It's on the... In terms of the skills that you use, it's not one of them. It does have some usefulness, but... I'll add it to my list. I've known it's been a problem, but it's also one of those where it's a tree that's not super heavily used, so that's probably part of why. Is one of the key features on it is not very useful. Dig in, re-eval. Grumpy, I'm sure it was an honest mistake on one of our parts. I have not seen a email from you. Checking my email right now to see if there's anything. Well, I have nothing. But again, don't complain about it. Just let me know. Message me in the forums. And I know you've been out there a long time, Grumpy. All right, let me get back to questions. I did make the note on the day, and I'll try to get some tune in for it. Also, this is the release where you guys will, 20% of you will hate me for a little while. Hopefully you'll forgive me and understand. But this is the release when Death Shield is finally going to get its tune-up. So it does one, but not both parts. And I think I got the word that we're ready to do a patch. So that will be my evening. We'll be getting a patch, everything integrated over, and kicking off a patch. Let's see. Grumpy Crab Never. When do you intend to make another pass at archers and fix other skills besides rapid fire? So the only one I plan on hitting is multi-shot. The other ones, again, the archery was not nerfed. For those who missed the thing that upset a lot of the archers, there was a change that was made so that armor stopped more damage. This was more noticeable, much more noticeable in things that did a small amount of damage. There were two skills in archery that are the two most used skills that do lots of little hits for low damage. Now, if you're hitting an unarmed target, that it does 3 or 4x what a single big hit does. If you're hitting stuff that has armor, then the rapid fire and multi-shot were the two. Do a bunch of little hits that all get absorbed by the armor, and it doesn't do as much. So I fixed rapid fire. I will fix multi-shot. Hold on. Adding it to my list. But things like aim shot and some of the others, those are just the same suffering of doing a little less damage than that everybody saw. And again, this was part of when I went in to evaluate why, we do have some spreadsheets, we do have numbers for things, and dragons basically were just super easy to solo. They'd kind of gotten to the point of kind of like Chillblains or something where, it's set out, we intended it to be really hard, and then 2 weeks later, people are in there seeing how quick they can do a speed run on it. But anyways, that's when that came up, that nothing was getting the armor. No creatures were getting the armor we expected them to have, so. Let's see. Antrax Artec. I saw in the combat section, or that the combat section lacks info yet in the draft. This is, we put out the list of the stuff that's going on. Star starts that extra early, and then he goes and adds stuff for everybody else in the team, and then I go and add my stuff. Just because Star doesn't always know what I do, because I am kind of crappy about making JIRs for things sometimes. I usually make my list, though, by going and looking at our check-ins, the actual check-ins I make, and go and add that in. But I'll try and get that stuff added in. Yes, I did intend for Bludgeon to get a Dispel effect. And making a note now to go and update the combat section. Please try not to let the no collision bug on water lot docks in QA. Alright, so to Vespers. I am pinging the company chat on that. I'll let you know what they say. Sounds like there's a bug with the collision on docks. Didn't know. %90 less performant. Can you show me your math for that? Antrax, yes, the thing you just called out. Antrax says Archer at the moment is 90% less performant in PvE compared to before, and the same as before in PvP. So in PvP, it was only creatures that had the wrong damage resist, and basically they didn't have any damage resist. So things before in PvE, like nothing basically had damage resist. You'd hit for almost full damage every single time. That was kind of the bug, but again, that wouldn't affect PvP, so archers are still, I'm sure, killing people in PvP because nothing changed on them. I don't know about the 90% thing, but yes, I know there's still for, especially for like farming PvE stuff, the changes to multi-shot, or yeah, the multi-shot was a pretty bad one. Not the changes to multi-shot, the changes that affected multi-shot. It affected everybody, to be honest, though. Repulsive, will there ever be a drop % chance for artifacts bosses in the future, or will that stay hidden? That'll probably stay hidden. That's one of those things we go and we change occasionally. For those who don't understand, like, you know, we don't show you percentage chances for things to drop. And that is because, again, we should be able to change that, and I do change that occasionally. If I see too many of something or another's getting into the economy, I'll go and change it. As soon as we give you those type numbers, then you'll expect it to never change, and it's one more thing that if I change it, you'll be screaming at me. I do know now you scream at me anyways, though, because you think I nerfed drop rates, and I haven't nerfed any drop rates in 6 months or so. Belladonna Rose, when will the tartar sauce mining entrance be put in? So I've had that in for a while. I just need to check it in. That is, if you saw today when I was showing off the earlier stuff, I've been working on, I've had Tartarus checked out pretty much this whole release, trying to get some tech issues solved with creatures going to sleep in those large rooms that, you know, I want to have walking patrols and stuff like that. And of course the server keeps saying, too far away from you, we're going to turn all this crap off and not have it patrol. That was also affecting the wave battle stuff. But as soon as I check that in, it'll be in. I'll shoot for having that on QA by the weekend. So you guys can give me some feedback on the test and the rewards for the PvE and PvP encounters. Alright, noted. Hollyhock, will my town ownership town upgrade make the new release? I don't know. I will have to get with it. It will absolutely make the release. We'll see if it makes the initial release. I'll have to get with Sun, who's been kind of the one who's been handling that. But I will see where that is at. I think it'll make the release. I'll ping people and make sure it does, and if not, we'll get it out as a special patch. That's one of those things, we have some really old clunky systems that I am not a fan of, and that's one of those, the whole pot locking and that type stuff. That stuff is so quick and trivial for us to do, but we have this really complicated system around it of you've got to lock your pot, and you got to do it by this date, and you've got to change things. And then once we have that, like we have like a 5-step process on our side that we go do, when really it could be 2 minutes of work if I just got like a notification email of I want to change my town to this. But anyways, that's one of the things I'm trying to improve on. And that's one that may have slipped through because we're trying to improve on that right now. Hold on, making notes again. Verify Hollyhock. Pot transfer or ownership. Town upgrade. Chiatareg, can we all praise and ask in chorus the repair locked gear feature? I don't know why that's taken so long. Again, that's one of the ones that has been on Wizard Smoke. I can look into that. I'm not sure why that's been deprioritized so many times. I know that's a big quality of life thing. Repair locked. Bayard Knock, will Nightmares and Unicorns be tameable this release? I have not looked to see if Beezus got to those or not. I know that the task was created for him for this release. Oh wait, let's see, I'm falling behind here. I see a Snugsy one. What are those other ones there? I thanked Eric Rules. Christ Pallet, hey! Good to see you out there, Christ Pallet. Another name I've seen forever and ever and ever. And HT Genie UK, thank you for the 200 bits. Mike Soda, can you downgrade my taxed pot water castle deed to a taxed PA castle deed? I don't know how those things compare, but I'll gladly do it if I can, if it's pretty close to the same thing. But yeah, I'll have to go look. I honestly don't know how those two things compare. Radiant Whittlander just asked one that just got me again today that, again, I've got to go. I will try and make time for it. The Radiant Woodlander, please fix the tamed pet response bug. This is one that is actually way more complicated than it seems. For those who don't know what that is referring to, there's it appears to be a bug that you tell your pet to attack. It basically takes 1 to 2 seconds. Oh, if it's 50k less, Mike Soda, then yeah, I'll upgrade it. Or downgrade you. I just want to make sure it was at least in the same ballpark. But this is, the pet is slow to respond. This gets really annoying because your pet will be there and you'll say, attack! And of course the creatures are moving and doing their thing fast, and your pet kind of sits there and smiles and looks at you and, you know, does a little dance emote or whatever, and then finally eventually decides to attack. It's not quite that bad, but it sure feels that bad when you're trying to kill like 10 different creatures, and he does that between each and every creature. So that is one, looking into it, there's a little more to it than just having the AI respond. The AI is figuring out what to do in a fast order, and then the problem is coming from a ton of different animations marked as I want to finish this animation before I do the next thing, and getting those queued up. So that's one that I'm going to have to, there's some ways I could fix it, but it would just generate more bugs if I fixed it. I'm trying to not generate too many more bugs. So I'll look for a better way to fix that than what I originally said I was going to do. Because I actually did go and lower the times for those things so they think more often and they think quickly. Here's one, which is, do you still push content updates to the single-player game version, or only online version is supported now? Anything we do in the... Oh, there's a player on Castle Lot. Let's see. Do I have a Castle Lot on me? Hey, look, I have a Castle Lot deed. Is that what you want? Why is that yellow? I think that's it. Deal. Oh, but anyways, back to the question. So yes, anytime we do stuff, we're doing it for single player and multiplayer. There's some of these things that aren't really single player items. I forget how we have like Crown Store crap in the single player game. Yeah, anytime we add new content, we add new scenes, we add new quests, story, features, whatever, those all work in single player. If something broke, now this is something that's true, is that for the single player, occasionally something will break and we just... What? How was I naughty? Something will break and we won't notice it as quickly because we don't get as much feedback. For the online players, of course, they'll show up and stream and yell at me and send me emails, which I usually respond to, unless your name is Grumpy, apparently. Not supposed to hand out PA castle deeds. Really? Is that one of those things that has been promised for a long time, I'm guessing? Not exploiting my emotions. I don't know these rules. I know we have upgrades for stuff. Is that something we don't allow for upgrading? To water pots? Exclusive for backers. We're never supposed to be upgraded. Alright. Now everybody's mad at me. I don't know these things. Those are all store crap rules and banned upgrade. I don't know these things. Alright, apparently I'm not doing that anymore. Damn it. I was trying to be nice. That says you can make it a taxed place anywhere castle lot for 250. That was a taxed one. Haha! Tax free. Maybe? Anyways, I didn't know. I thought you could upgrade to that, and again, I agree with the person who's just messaging me that I thought it was the rule was something like you only allowed to have tax free, but that's a taxed castle lot, not a tax free castle lot. I thought those were allowed. Tax are not supposed to exist for anyone but backers. All right, Food Bunny. Well, that's one of those things too. This is this was a big topic at lunch today, and we had a couple of people who were, community people, who also mentioned this. CC and RMT here. There's content out there. We have a problem that there's a lot of content out there that we have in game that is effectively dead. That is something that Catnip Games going forward is trying to never have dead content where you can buy it only for this tiny window of time and it will never be sold in game again. Because that's stuff we have to keep around. It bloats your video memory, it bloats everything, and if it's content that it's cool to have some exclusive stuff, but we don't want dead content like that. If there's not enough people, if there's a bunch of empty castle lots that are in NPC towns, that's dead content of just there's a big empty castle lot. That's the type thing, so. Again, if that is something that's not allowed, I didn't know it. Trust me, I would not have done it on stream if I thought it was a not allowed thing. Yeah, and there's plenty of empty lots out there. Add the missing fishing trophies. Daily nag. Taiki, what fishing trophies did I miss? I actually handed out the fishing trophies at the last... Oh, this is for like a fishing tournament that somebody held. I was going to say the last fishing tournament, I actually handed those out at the tournament. Backers better start picking their castle lots then. Well, they've had 5 years to pick them. Or 3 years. But yeah, that's and I think also that's another thing people know is episode 2. That's one of the big things we're pushing for is the content, the player content. Oh my goodness, it's almost 3 o'clock and I haven't given out my first prize yet. Why are you guys not yelling at me? But episode 2, there's going to be far fewer NPC towns. And that is one of the things we've talked about, as you might have heard Star say, is there's going to be no player housing in NPC towns. As I've said, there's going to be a little stuff in there. And the type of stuff that'll be in there will probably be there'll be maybe a few houses on the outskirts and then maybe a couple of castle lots that are place anywhere castle lots, because then that makes those feel even more premium. All right, raffle up, guys, because I'm going to do it quick. I got to do like 2 or 3 here in a row. Okay, here we go. Picking a winner. 3, 2, 1. And yes, as Majoria said there, yeah, not having the NPC housing in there makes the towns much more useful in terms of us using them for quests, and makes them more usable in terms of players getting into them, because they'll load quicker, they'll run faster. It'll be a smoother experience. Adding in a couple of castles here and there is not going to cause a problem. The real problem ends up being like 50 row lots, 30 villages, and all the other crap that goes into them, and people putting tons of outside decos. All right, picking the winner. Not a robot. Are you sure? All right, let me send out those prizes. I'm going to guess you are not a robot. Not a robot. Who are you in game, not a robot? Oh, I just did the accidental window shake. There we go. Gwendolyn. Got it. All right, I'm going to put up a couple of good prizes here. I'll do one big prize here because I got to get off in like 15 minutes. Poof! 2 hour and a half gone. Let's see. Gwendolyn. Got it. Now you guys are making me feel all bad about that stupid pot thing. I'll have to go look. Congrats. All right, let's see. It said I was going to do that guy there. That row lot thing. That's kind of cool. Any other? I think I gave one of those guys out a while back. How about I'll do a... Yeah, maybe I'll just do that first row lot. Oh, there's the epic snowy trees. You can annoy your friends. Oh, it's so tough. All right, I'm getting more people telling me that you can actually do the convert to PA, so you guys leave me alone. It's the tax-free is the one I think that's no joy. Okay, we'll do, I'll give away 2 of these guys because everybody's got an extra row lot. If you did the storyline, at least you got an extra row lot. So these are good. I'll give away 2 of these guys since I didn't give away prizes. I'll stream along. Bam. So I'll give those away in like 10 minutes, so don't go too far. Daddy Chris, can you do me a CC Solid 2? Huh. Alright, well, I'm definitely not doing a CC Solid on stream until I look into whether that was actually something you guys can do or not. I think I might be getting trolled here. Let's see. Let me get into a few more questions there. Oh, and thank you, Waxman. You didn't even ask a question, just cheering. Thank you very much. Oh, and Taiki did 3. It's mounting fish you catch. Small and large don't exist. I have 15 years of fish to mount. Okay. That one is on Beezus. I think he got asked about that on the stream recently. And that's one of the things we were talking about, is having the mounting of creatures. All creatures, not just fish, but... All right, let's see. Oh, and you know what? I'm not going to reset. I'm going to just allow entries on the giveaway. So if you already did the giveaway raffle, you don't have to do it again. But I did open it up. So ignore whatever thing it says is up for a raffle. I'm giving away 2 of those prison house things. Do 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 do. Let's see. Well, now that I've answered questions all stream long instead of making artifacts. Is this... I've noticed Bayard Knock has asked a couple of questions, and they're all pets. Are you Snugsy One, or did Snugsy One hire you? It's one of those 2 things. All right, maybe there's more than one tamer out there. But they ask, when will the next stage of tameable pets... what will be the next one after Destroyers? Will Nightmares and Unicorns be tameable this release? I don't know on the Nightmares and Tameables again. The next stage after the Destroyables is, I don't know that either because we haven't named them, we haven't made them. Right now I think the Destroyers are pretty good. The probably more stuff going forward will be choice type stuff. That you guys can make to make your pets tougher. Again, you already have the option of doing taming spec and then a few taming artifacts. There'll be more taming artifacts will be one thing. Again, my goal is to have, by the time I'm done, every slot, if you want to, you can fill every slot on your entire body with some taming crap. And again, that's because I do feel that they're at a pretty decent state right now in terms of power. If you're really high level, they can be really powerful, and you can pretty much play pushing your very slow to react tamed pet around, which is honestly the biggest problem with them right now is the slowness that they react sometimes. Hey, Snugsy One, thank you very much. But I do think that having, again, the items, as I've mentioned this before in streams many a time, is we want to give you guys choices on these things. We can't make them powerful without having you lose some power somewhere else, because if not, if we make everything ultimately powerful, you got a pet and you got yourself. But making you make choices, so yeah, sure, you can be a little more powerful if you give up your Lich Ring or whatever in favor of a Taming Ring, and if you give up your weapon in favor of a Bob's Enchanted Chair. Those are choices that you're making that make you less powerful in other areas that you're choosing to make your pet more powerful. So that'll be the next place that we continue to upgrade things. Let's see. Felden Grimshaw asks, I heard that gold and silver scraps are on the way. Is this true? If so, when? I have heard that too. I don't know for sure. Let's see. Griffler, would you please consider removing the heritage tag from the pot water statues, or make them toggleable so their eyes shine if they're active? If both are unlit, it's back to fresh. Our stewards cannot use them. If we sell to a town, we're left with $30 paperweights. Or make them toggleable so their eyes shine if they're active. If both are off, it's back to fresh. So that is one that I actually... So I'm a fan of the heritage stuff. Again, that is, I know a lot of players aren't, but I'm really one of the guys who's pushed for that. And again, it's primarily for the sustainability of the game. It's one of those things, we had a bunch of things we did in our Kickstarter that made total sense for doing a Kickstarter. But then as we moved from Kickstarter into a live game, we forgot to become a live game in a lot of ways. And that's kind of one of the things we're trying to change. It's for sustainability, having premium items be no trade is an important thing. That said, I'm actually against making the water statues no trade for a couple of different reasons. and that is actually one of them. But I've got to find out before I say I'll do that for sure, and we'll know this in just a couple days. The R71, one of the big things coming is a pallet. There's supposed to be a pallet feature that is equivalent to a pallet that's being used on a lot that will be used in pots, so the pot stewards can move stuff over. But if that doesn't make it, then I'll gladly come untag your fishing statues. I get the whole, no trade for a pot deco can be more problematic than it is for a player deco. Also, I think those are things that don't really get sold around as much, and that's kind of part of it is, at least part of that is the not wanting to have, have to compete with the secondary market. And again, this is something that we have done it one way forever, but no other games do it. Yes, I know there's a couple of rare case type things which are for subscription games. There's one subscription game that has it. I know WoW has a token you can buy, but that's equivalent to our crowns. Crowns are going to stay tradable. We just want to make sure when you turn stuff from crowns into an actual item that's kind of the permanent transaction part. So let's see. What else do we have? I think let's see, there's some new ones that have come in here. Ability to place items on river stone fence. Let's see. I don't know which fence that is. If Drillikath. Let's see if that shows up by name. If it does, I'll gladly mark it. There's some reasons think we don't always set them, but again, I think for fences, it's probably the fear that they're going to build like a giant castle wall that's like 100 feet high just by stacking a fence on top of a fence on top of a fence. Let me see. Hey, look, there's a ornate river stone fence. Yeah, so probably not going to make it stackable for the reason I just mentioned, which is if I make it stackable, then there's going to be 100-foot tall fences out there where you guys have stacked 8 fences, one on top of each other. Maybe not. For those who don't know, on the no trade stuff, that is, it's supposed to be that if you place an item, even if you don't own the item, that you can move things around. You'll be able to move it. You just can't pick it up. That's the part that becomes a problem with the fishing decos, is that you can't like pick it up and get it off, get it out of the scene, and that's what you need to do to change the fish. So a steward can't change fish. So that is actually one of the reasons why I argued, but I'll bring that back. And again, if we do not have something that will allow you to do that for this release, then I will go take that flag off, unflag anybody's fish statues they want. Let's see. Yeah, and you can't place no trade items on other people's lots. Again, that's the whole thing, is we want to make sure you can deco with them, you can do everything with them. But again, it gets into a little more problems with the pots and the way these fish statues work. That's kind of why I wanted to make them tradable. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Foo Bunny and the other people out there, if we do not get a way that you can deal with it this release, that you can fix the fishing stuff, then I will flag your fish statues tradable. Because, yeah, I totally hear you guys, and there's no way to swap it, and basically only the governor can do it or the owner of the thing can do it, so that's really annoying. Majority, I know you hate the no trade. Again, this is one of those things, as we look at it, we've had people tell us, and again, it's a long, ongoing topic, but it is something that there's a reason no other games do it, and it is also a reason why we have a massive RMT market in the game, which we don't try and stop it. We're not trying to police the RMTers, but we also are not going to give up, endanger the health of the game, just to make sure that RMTers can be out there RMTing. There's still lots of things that can be RMT'd on. Some are the older items. Some are the items that drop in game. Some of the items that are, just rare and crafted. That stuff, doesn't endanger the health of the game. But when we start getting to a point where the market, the RMT market of player stuff moving around, selling stuff back and forth, is massively undercutting us, it decreases the budget we have to expand the game. As the guy who's now in charge of that, that's something we can't tolerate, because I want to hire more level designers. I want to hire another full-time CS person. We do, by the way, have a CS person starting. I just have to get a computer set up for him. But again, I know it's something that's different than we've done forever. I know also that a lot of you guys don't do any of that stuff, but we can't selectively turn it on for, RMTers. So anyways, that's the main thing. The other thing that we've looked at, and is still a possibility, there's still two other options. One is that we make items purchased one trade. So when you get an item, you can make it one trade. And then the other part of that is, and then that way that also frees up the gifting. And then the other part of that is actually, there's two more options. One is to make it, once it's used, it becomes no trade. So if you have a deco and you place it, then it becomes no trade after you've placed it. Or gear that you equip, or whatever pattern you apply. And then the final option that we're looking at is making it so your vendors, you can sell stuff for crowns on your vendors. Or sell stuff for gold on your vendors. If it is a premium item, you can still do that, and it just takes basically a rake of crowns, like for 20% of the cost of the item. So then tradable, you can have things, you can trade premium items between players, but then basically you have to pay a 20 crown or 20% crown rake or something. Again, we've got to make sure that we're building the game so we can continue expanding it in the future. I don't want to have to shrink the team any more than we have in the past. Number one on that, of course, is get more users into the game and make the game better. I totally get that. But part of that is also making sure we're not building a system where we're encouraging players to undercut and profit on the game that we are making. Oh, crap. Prizes before max team times. Anyways, you guys have heard me give that speech before. And again, sorry if I'm sounding weird today, but I'm super congested as I've been blowing my nose here and taking medicine and stuff. So let me cough to prove it. That's what that cough was. Let me give you guys two prizes here. This is going to be the 2 prison... Let's see. Ooh, Prisoner's Mask Vault Edition. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to double up. Each person who wins, I'll draw 2 names. Each person who wins gets a Prisoner Mask and a Prisoner Row Home. What? Make sure you're raffled up. Raffle, raffle, raffle. Terminator, 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 Terminator. Thank you very much, Strider Green, for that very odd cheer. Oh, and also thank you for Snugsy one. It looks like I missed one. Missed one, thank you, that is. Alright, guys, let's do this. I'm going to do 2 in a row, and then I got to get ready to go get a Maxine. For those who are new to the stream, that is my amazing 5-year-old that I got to pick up at the bus. Here we go. You guys ready? Here's winner number 1 for a mask and prison. Paladin Michael. That's another old name I've heard forever. Let me see. Is that actually just Paladin Michael? Does not appear to be. So now the moment you've been waiting for, let me work in this pun. What is a Paladin Michael's in-game name? Nailed it! Alright, Paladin Michael, you'll have to get me your name here shortly. And let me do one more. Picking a winner. Next winner is Griffler. Rigged. Did Paladin Michael ever say who he was? Let me look up and down here. Lesney, I'm never giving you anything again. Mike Haleberg, let me try that. Let's see. I'm going with Michael Berg. That at least seems to be a real person. That is not the correct one. That'll teach Paladin Michael to not be in here. Oh, he did? Paladin Michael. Michael Berg, yes. Got it. Yeah. All right. Guys, I need to go find a stream. I got somebody here who needs something in game. I will get with them shortly. I did not get any artifacts made this stream. Oh, and yes, still doing the special if you want to grab some crowns here. I'll give you the choice there of the 6-pack Day of the Dead masks. And I do still have, I think, from the Monday. Is it Monday? Oh, my goodness. I've missed the ones from Friday. If we did one for the Friday stream, then I've missed those two. But I'll get you guys all taken care of. I got 15 emails going on right now, but I'll get them out for you. I never got my bonus crown. Snugsy, what are you? You are full of crap. Maybe you didn't. Maybe from the Friday, or do you mean from today? Anyways, I'll get through my email. If you've sent me an in-game email, I will make sure and get those to you by the morning. And let me go find somebody to raid. Let's see. Twitch, Route of the Avatar. That's good. I heard myself say that right then. Getting my console friend into Soda. I like that. There's Famines. He's awesome as well. Strider Green, also awesome. Lovely Vivid. I see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going with a random 6 here. Cannot spell roll. There we go. Random 6 is 6. Pow. That is Lovely with it. All right. Oh, where I must. Oh, I've got my stream on down there at the bottom. Hold on, let me kill that. Should wear or place the prizes I give you or you give out as a short ad form. That's not a bad idea. All right, well, let's get ready to go raid. And yes, I fixed the echo. Sorry about that. I went to my Twitch page and then clicked the Twitch link for the shroud, but it still had mine up there at the bottom. Guys, again, thank you so much today for the good questions, keeping things constructive. Grumpy, I'm sorry if I was mean to you. I completely believe that you might have sent me a message and I didn't respond to it. But I do sometimes miss them. I can't believe I would miss all 3, though. Remember, I'm the guy that liked you. I unbanned you from the forums. But guys, again, thank you so much for all the support. You can look forward to R71 being awesome. I'm still trying to sneak in the Lua console already for this one. I have Lua integrated into the project. Actually checked it in, got the various errors and bugs fixed, and I'm getting it so you can load via console, but I'm trying to finish up the stuff I promised I would get done, which is making Tartarus a little more polished. And all the other stuff. And welcome back, Majoria. Again, another name I've seen forever. And come back in the game. Again, I'll get to the Lua console. We had a couple more things come up today of cool stuff people could do with that, like making their own message of the day and their own like calendar stuff that they could do in-game with calendar, just with the Lua stuff that'll be going live here shortly. Which, again, is just a few features, but... And we rated.